What's up, everybody? Tatsi Gaming here with a quick little tutorial on setting up Retroarch so that you can run the Metal Gear Mega Drive port that Hoffman and his team released a couple weeks back. The link to that is going to be down in the description if you guys want to go grab it. It is a free download, so be sure to check it out. Anyways, so like I was saying, because this is Mega Drive, you really have two options to emulate it. You have Kega Fusion, which is a standalone emulator, really accurate, really nice emulator, but it hasn't been updated in a long time. And honestly, when I was doing my run on it, I noticed a bunch of audio issues as far as sound effects and things of that nature. It just kind of grated on me a little bit. And then when I went and tried RetroArch, I found out that the Genesis Plus GX core works a heck of a lot better. So, as you guys can see, we do have the board over here. No runs yet. Hopefully that will change soon. I hope that y'all will use this tutorial to go ahead and get yourselves started running this version. I actually had a lot of fun running it. Be sure to check out my run if you haven't yet. But anyways, if you click on the resources tab over here on the category extensions page for Metal Gear, you'll notice I have now dropped a link to RetroArch 1.21, which is the latest stable build as of the time of this recording. If you go ahead and click the link here, you can, well, you'll get a link to their build bot here, which will give you access to both 32-bit and 64-bit versions of the program. I would recommend grabbing the 64-bit because that's what most folks are running now. You can grab the standalone installer or the portable version. For the basis of this tutorial, I'll be using the portable so that I don't mess with my own installation. And once you have that, go ahead and drop it somewhere where you'll be able to find it. You will need 7-zip to go ahead and open it up because it is a 7-zip archive. And once you extract it, just drop it somewhere or install it wherever you want to install it, and then go into the directory where it's installed. You'll see a bunch of folders and files, yada yada, whatever. The one we're concerned with right now is retroarch.exe. Go ahead and run that. And once it runs, it actually opened on my other monitor. Let me pull it over here for you guys. Once that opens up, you'll see a couple of, well, a bunch of options actually. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to set up the controls for the menu itself so that we can navigate the menu with our controller. Now, if you're using an Xbox controller, it should auto-detect it and automatically set this up. If for whatever reason it doesn't, or you're using a different controller, just follow along and we'll go ahead and we'll get this set up real quick. Go ahead and click on settings and then go to inputs. You're going to want to go to RetroPad binds and port 1 controls. Now, once you get in here, you're going to see a whole bunch of controls. It should be pretty obvious what gets assigned where. If you want to assign everything all at once, just hit set all controls like I'm going to do and follow along. Up, down, left, right. B, A, Y, X. Select, start, L, R, L2, R2, L3, R3, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. Now, it's important to note, I am using an Xbox controller for this. Typically, I play with PlayStation, but using an Xbox controller was just easier here for the purposes of the tutorial. One thing you will note is when you're looking at the face buttons, if you've never played with RetroArch before, you will notice that the buttons that it's corresponding to actually line up, at least for its face buttons, line up with a Super Nintendo controller. So kind of keep that in mind. They kind of went with the Nintendo layout for their face buttons. So anytime that you see reference in the RetroArch menus to any of these buttons, keep in mind it's a Super Nintendo layout. Anyhow, we've got that taken care of. Let's go ahead and we'll hit our back button now, because that all works now. So we'll hit back a few times. Now the next thing we got to do is we got to go ahead and we've got to actually get the emulator itself. So we have to get the Genesis Plus GX core. Cores are what RetroArch calls its emulators. To get this, we're going to go ahead and go to the main menu, press right, and we're going to go to the online updater. Go ahead and enter into that, and you're going to go to the core downloader. And once the core downloader loads up, you can go ahead and either press down, just hold down until we get down to the S's, You can also press left and right to go ahead and quick scroll. But the core that we're looking for right now is the this one right here, actually, the Genesis Plus GX core. You'll see that it is a Sega Master System, Game Gear, Mega Drive, and Sega CD emulator. Once you have it highlighted, just go ahead and click the OK button. It's going to tell me that the latest version is already installed because I already installed it. We'll hit the back button. It shouldn't take more than a couple seconds to actually install these cores. Go ahead and hit your back button. And what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to actually load up your ROM file. So to do this, you're going to come on up here to load content, click into that, go to wherever your ROMs are stored, and we're going to grab the Metal Gear ROM. There it is. Wait, stop. Hold on. Forgot to tell you guys something. Hit the back button a couple times. My apologies, I forgot all about this. We do want to set up one other thing before we do anything else. Go back to settings and go to inputs and come down to hotkeys. You're going to want to come to this one that says menu toggle. And mine specifically is set up to L3R3, but you can click into it and you can set it to any one of these combinations that you want. This is how you're going to get back to this menu. If you don't set a controller combo, you have to press F1 on your keyboard. Just something to keep in mind. So, now that that's set, back to the main menu, back to load content, and find your ROM. And click OK on it. Now, once it loads up, go ahead and go back into your menu. This is important because now you actually have to set up the controls for the emulator. So when we set up the controls before, we kind of gave it a baseline. It's just kind of like a generic, you know, okay, we know where the buttons are now, and we're going to go ahead and kind of apply them. For this game, however, specifically for Metal Gear, go into your controls, and you're going to want to go to Port 1 Controls. And this is very important. Make sure that the device type is set to Mega Drive Joypad 6 button. Otherwise, the emulator doesn't really know how to behave with this game. So set it to a 6 button controller. It's better to set it to a 6 button controller anyway. Now, you're going to want to come down a little ways. As far as these 3 buttons go, this works okay. Basically, just like with the Sega Genesis controller, you're going to have A, B, and C running from left to right. So if you're playing on an Xbox controller, these buttons correspond to X, A, and B. If you're playing on a PlayStation controller, these buttons correspond to square, X, and circle. Personally, what I have done when I set up to play this game, because I like shooting with the square button and punching with the circle button, just like we do on MSX PS2, I actually flip-flopped the A and the B buttons here. So where it says B, I'm going to set that to A, and where this one says A, I'm going to set that to B. Now this means that my punch button is still on C, my fire button is on B, and my yeah, can't think. There's nothing actually assigned to the A button. The A button actually does nothing in this game. Unless you're running on a 3-button controller, which you probably shouldn't be if you're speedrunning. So, once you have that set, I would recommend setting this X button to 3 dashes and not having it set to anything so that you don't accidentally hit your triangle or your Y button and have it do something. Personal preference. Again, going back to Metal Gear on the MSX PS2 versions, I set the select button to be the X button on the Mega Drive pad. Reason being is that in this game, the X button opens up the codec. So it makes sense. Put it on the button that historically has always opened the codec. Start button is start button, that's fine. And then what I personally did was on the L2 button, I assigned Y, which opens up your equipment. And on the R2 button, I set Z, which opens up your weapons. You can go ahead and you can set Y and Z wherever you want. It's personal preference, truly. When I was actually doing my runs, I had it set up like this, where my Y was on my R1 and my Z was on my R2, so that I had weapons and equipment on the same side. Set it up however you want. Once you have it set up, go ahead, hit the back button, and you're going to want to come up here to Manage Remap Files. This is where you save your button configuration. Now, you've got a couple of options. So let me remove that. So when you first open this up, you'll have a couple options. You can either save the remap file as, which I don't recommend doing, because then you got to set your own, file name and all that junk. That's not worth it. But you can go ahead and you can do a game remap file, which will remap the controls to be for just this game, or you can do a core remap file, which will set these controls to affect every Genesis game. Personally, I like setting just a game remap file. That way there, in case some other game I decide to play needs a different configuration, I can go ahead and I can set it and it will be different and it'll be fine. Go ahead and hit the back button once. Twice, actually. I don't know if I said this already, but I'm going to say it again if I did. Make sure that device type in the port 1 controls is set to joypad 6 button. Otherwise, this game freaks out. Hit the back button. Hit the back button. Okay, once you're back on the quick menu, come on up to resume. Click on resume. You can press Alt-Enter if you want to play in full screen. And then once that countdown goes away, and here we are. So when you go to start the game, I highly recommend setting the game mode to English Classic and the control to 6 button. You set it to English Classic because it removes the text boxes that would normally pop up when you pick up an item or a weapon. And then we can go ahead and we can just go ahead and start the game by pushing the fire button. Your punch button, C button, whatever you want to call it, is the button that's skipping through your codex. There's no fast skip, so you gotta mash. And specifically, I want you guys to kind of listen to the sound effects here. Because they're much cleaner than what they are when you're playing on Fusion. So, I hope that you guys have found this tutorial useful. I hope that you guys will seriously consider running this version, because honest to God, I had a whole bunch of fun running this version earlier today. I think this is an absolutely phenomenal port, and if you haven't played it yet, you're really missing out. So, anyways, I'm Tatsi Gaming. Thanks for watching the tutorial. Thanks for checking out the channel. Go ahead and check out the other content. If you stumbled across this video by accident, I am a Metal Gear speedrunner. You can check me out over on Twitch. Go ahead and give me a follow. TOTC Gaming. That's all I have. Oh, no, it's not. Check down in the description down below as well. I have links to not only my Twitch, and to this port that's on itch.io, but I also have links to MetalGearSpeedrunners.com, where you can go and learn any Metal Gear speedrun that you could possibly think of. We have them, tutorials for most all of the games, and if we don't have a tutorial for it, or we don't have, like great resources posted yet, there's also a link to the Metal Gear Speedrunners Discord down there as well. Come hang out with us. Even if you're not into speedrunning itself, if you like Metal Gear, come hang out. We're always welcome to having new people drop in and chill with us. That's all I have for now. Thank you guys, and I hope to see yous on the boards soon. Take care.